Hello everyone, welcome back to Having Fun. I'm Gail, and today let's celebrate one of the important holidays in 1 year, and each year that we celebrate together, well, as a community. Merry Christmas everyone. As a Merry Christmas thingy, we cannot be going without doing anything, isn't it? So for that, I already bought one miniature to commemorate the Christmas. And that miniature, I know that many of you have it and own it, but the real question, what colors should I follow? Or what kind of ways should I paint that special miniature? You have come to the right place. Today, we're gonna start by painting the Red Gobbo and Bounca, his fellow Rudolph friend that is giving gifts to everyone around the galaxy. Welcome, and do not forget to subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below. Let's go to paint it.
As first, I'm gonna go opening the box and see what's inside of the package. First, we're gonna be opening as accordingly that I mentioned before in one of my oldest videos that I have uploaded on the channel. That is a way to open your boxes, and I do always use a hobby knife to open the top, take out the plastic bag, and then switch between the two sides of the box, and that is pushing them together so I can have a lid opening to pull the lid of the box without damaging the box itself. Remember, collecting a box, it's a more delicately way to actually manage to have all your products in the future to be sold to the public. Remember, collectors want the box, not the miniatures. They want the box, and as well as the box is in a perfect condition, they will say the miniature itself will be. After the miniature is over and assembled together and everything, what I'm gonna do is just use a little bit of Vallejo's plastic putty. That is a good, actually a resemblance of the green putty or the green stuff from Green Stuff World. You're gonna be actually filling the gaps between the miniature itself. What I found myself in this kind of situation is that I saw many gaps between the parts of the assembly of both the torso, the goblin, and other parts itself. Even the base, there is a big gap in there. So what you're gonna be using is apply 2 coats of the Vallejo plastic putty over the miniature, and yes, you're gonna let it dry, and then in the final moment when you have like too much errors, a gap of errors, for example, you apply over in a specific area too much, you can erase it or remove the excess by just dipping your brush, or you can use a cotton tip and dip it in water, and then you can remove the excess away. Finally, prime my miniature by using black, and then over in the top I use white primer to get those highlighted areas. Now we're gonna be using a first color to cover always the base coats, and then using our other colors to fill the remaining gaps, for example the margin of error. So I'm gonna be using black green that resembles to the goblin green as a base from the citadel color itself. So you're gonna be actually, remember, shake your bottles, apply the paint over the wet palette, and then using a brush of the specific size. I recommend a small brush or medium brush to do the job, and then you're gonna be starting by painting the areas of the goblin, the hands, and the other remaining areas of itself. Now that it's done, what I'm gonna be choosing a second color of base is going to be black. The black is going to be applied over the boots, the pants, and the areas, for example, that are going to be more specifically the areas that you want to use, that is going to be the grenades and the grenade in the base that is have the pin up down. Also, don't forget that you're gonna be applying the black over the branch that is inside the mouth of Bounca. Third color that we're gonna be using is going to be heavy red. For the areas around the little snagga that is going to be Bounca, and also the parts of the outfit for our Christmas friend, the Red Gobbo. Don't forget about his hat, or the upper one. area that you're gonna be applying. Remember to apply it over the nose if you're going to be using the other remaining part that is going to be the nose for making it look like Rudolph to Bounca, and the areas that are going to be in the base and the other parts in this horn as well. For the fourth color that we're gonna be using is going to be for the teeth and the horns, and the other part that is going to be the branch in the base one, that is the wood branch, and the goblin's mouth, we're gonna be using khaki. That's a color that you're gonna be resembled to the bone white of Games color from Vallejo's, but it's basically like a substitute of the bone white, and let me tell you, it does his work perfectly. Fifth color that we're going to be using is going to be applied on the gums. The gums of Bounca we are going to be using scarlet red. That color is going to give a vibrant base coat, and afterwards you're going to be highlighting it with another color. So having a base coat of a darker to a brighter will come in handy when doing a display mode of the miniature itself. The sixth color that we're going to be using afterwards is going to be for the parchments and the areas around the miniature itself that are going to be one. It's going to be the part that have the bandage in the tail of Bounca, and also the areas that are going to be remarkable and seen in the upper right side of the horn. You're gonna be using warm gray. Heavy warm gray is going to be like a base coat, but afterward you're gonna be going to grow that color from being to the brightest to the darkest, and that's how you're gonna end up with a dirty bandage style, like old style, for the miniature itself. Seventh color. The seventh color that you're gonna be using is silver. Remember, silver is going to be applied over the parts that are going to be the nose, to resemble like the most iconic, like bright areas of a Christmas tree, the circle things that I don't know what the name and not in the other language. And also it's going to be remarkable for the areas that are going to be for the medals and the weapons as highlights, and the pins for the grenades that are going to be useful to use later. Don't forget that you can apply over to the goggles of the goblin as well. Eighth color. The eighth color is going to be blue-gray. Blue-gray is going to be a handful friend to help us build up that snow white color for the areas that are going to be the bird, the back of the neck part of the coat, and also the near close to the hands that are going to be the arm pulls or arm pauldrons are going to be for the closest to the hand. And remember the little cotton thing in the top of the hat. You're gonna be using that as a base coat, and then going from there you're gonna be rising it up in the brightest color possible. 9 color. It cannot be a miniature without the amount with this stellar thing or the star on top of the tree. So we're gonna be painting the stars, and the other areas are going to be the little lighting parts for the miniature itself that are going to be the little bulbs. We're gonna be using heavy gold brown. Heavy gold brown is going to be our base coat, so with that we can rise it up from being to the darkest to the brightest, and can resemble or imitate the way of a bulb light from being from the bottom to the lightest of the brightest. 10th and last color. It's going to be used for our weapon, and as well as the parts are going to be, if you didn't even painted it, you're gonna be using it for the belt part of the star in the front of the miniature. You can use it to paint it normally, and for those that didn't paint the eyes, glasses, you can actually paint them as well with this color. So when you do the wash and then you highlight that area, it will become like an old deteriorated deer. You made it to the last part, and I am grateful. Do not forget to always help the channel by subscribing, giving a like and thumbs up. And also, let me tell you something, we're gonna be going straight to the end and show you a little bit of the miniature, finish it in its glorious way possible. Thank you for always helping me out, and always I'm grateful for each one of my subscribers. You are the stars that bright in the darkest times.